And welcome, everyone, to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian. Hey. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. And it's Tuesday, of course, favorite time of the week where we get to just hang out and talk politics and news and drama, TV, and everything else under the sun with, of course, my co-host, the illustrious Brother Nate. And let me know when you're ready, sir. And of course, with you all as my co-host for the evening. So don't be shy. It's like being at home here. It's just that you're at home at Cap Hill. So, let's get started. Hey, Auntie Melissa Scott, how are you? Good to see you. Rendell, what's going on, sir? Patty Duke, always a pleasure. Travis, always great to see you. And how you been, sir? How's your week been and all that good stuff?
Very quiet, very calm. Okay. Laid around. Just literally just laid around. Motherfucker was sick.
Laying around can be good, but I'm glad that you're, getting on the mend. That's always good.
How's everybody doing this evening? Melissa, you can go to sleep now.
Right.
Just in the morning, girl.
Right.
We know you busy.
Right. You can watch this.
Go ahead and make them coins.
On your break or way to work in the morning. We definitely appreciate it. Detach yourself. How you doing? And to everybody coming into the chat or just hanging out in the balcony, please make sure you hit those thumbs up buttons because they work. Either thumbs up or thumbs down. It either works either way. But definitely the ones that go up are the ones that we.
Yeah. Hey, Travis. Hey, Randall. Everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody had a nice weekend.
Yeah.
Better than mine. So. I'll tell you one thing. I should have lost some fucking weight.
Oh, yeah.
I could have used to lose 5 pounds. I'd have been happy.
Well, I mean, you can always go for the procedure.
No, I'm not. No, they look at me like I was crazy. I'm not that heavy.
Yeah, they be like,
I'm heavy for me. My cheeks don't clap. They don't applaud.
You're not pregnant heavy.
I'm that one cheeseburger away. I feel like a bloated heavy.
Oh, okay. So you still skinny heavy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have cleavage and all that stuff. I just feel heavy for me.
Okay. I get it.
My ass. What are you saying?
You're like, how them steps get so much? You go up some flight of steps like, oh yeah, I done gained a few pounds last week.
Why would I walk down the street? My thighs burning.
Just crazy. But yes, I hope everybody had a great weekend. and as always, was safe and all that. But as always, let's get to the news. All right. So, first part of the news today, breaking news that Chai Gorbachev has passed at the age of 91. What they say, the last president of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, because all they got is dictators. Well, all they got is dicks
Right,
now.
right.
We almost had a dick.
Been president forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so prayers to his family. Chai Gorbachev was, of course, I don't want to say, well, yeah, one of the orchestrators of bringing down the communist kind of stone
the wall
nation,
Mm-hmm.
the Iron Curtain down, along with Ronald Reagan and the others, Margaret Thatcher, and so on and so forth. Which, I mean, even in recanting later in years when people asked him, did you think that this was going to destroy the Soviet Union? He actually thought that creating openness and a different type of government, restructuring it, would be good for the country, but it actually had a reverse effect. It caused them to collapse, right, and split. And I think maybe they decided to do it too late. If that's what the avenue that they were thinking about going to, a more modernized kind of structure, that it might have just been too late. They were probably already headed that way. So kind of bringing capitalist ideas or a more democracy to the nation
he was leaning more towards a socialist,
right?
Socialistic, modified, like what we have.
Yeah. And that just didn't work. So, of course, they wound up splitting up, and that's where Vladimir Putin has been so angry about wanting to bring Russia back to its empire status. So that's why he's been on the rampage ever since. So during this time, Vladimir Putin was a college student. Then from there, he went to work for the KGB, and he's been with the KGB ever since. Then he became prime minister, and then from prime minister to president, with this anger ever since this had happened with Mikhail Gorbachev. And for those of you who don't know who he was, the guy with the birthmark in his head.
Port wine stain. Look like bird shit on it. It is a port wine stain. That's what it's called. See, why do you think I was?
Because I've never heard of it.
Called a port wine stain.
A port wine stain. All right.
You can look it up. Look it up tonight or Google.
I will. I will definitely Google it.
It wasn't no rosacea. It actually looked like bird shit on his head. But it's called a port wine stain, and it's a birthmark.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
And it looks like wine, red wine.
Yeah, it does look like somebody spilled something on his head, though.
Yeah, the one thing that scared me about 7 years ago, and they were just doing an interview with him because I thought he had died a long time ago. So many
Here
other
you go. You were another one.
So many
dying somebody
dropped out of sight. I don't know.
Always dying a mofo.
But he was saying how he was observing what all the countries all over the world were doing. He said, why are they gearing up? They act as though they're gearing up for war.
Interesting.
And he had said that about 8 years ago. And he said, for likes he said, I'm really worried because all these countries are gearing up for war, and I don't know why. They all their money is in the military. They're jockeying and positioning themselves. They have ports in other countries, right? Especially looking at what the Chinese are doing, because what the Chinese would do is they would go over and they would make an agreement with some African country to have a port down there, maybe near the Antarctic or someplace like that,
right?
And hope that they would default on it because they would offer to build the infrastructure and everything. This way, they would already have pretty much military ports already in these central locations all over the world in these different countries, because they're in Africa, South America, all over the place.
Right.
But after he said that, plus too, he probably did a Donald Trump number and stole a whole bunch of documents. So he
was still in the know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He said, would you say, Patty, stop premature? Yeah, I've been deleting a lot of people lately.
Always premature and killing somebody. You're not the only one. My best friend does the same thing all the time.
Yeah, you don't see him.
She swears out Martha Gibbs is dead. Everybody was dead who isn't dead yet was dead to her. And the only person that she knew was not dead was Betty White until Betty White died. That was Betty White. She was like, everybody else
Betty White wasn't even ready. She wasn't even ready until she was ready, and she said, "I'm gonna do another birthday."
Right.
Hey, Queen Diva. Hey, Stop Bell. How y'all doing this evening?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for coming in the chat. Make sure you hit those thumbs up button.
Hey, Jackson, how you doing?
Right. So real quick for this breaking news story, I thought that this was interesting. And for those of you who live in New York, my home city, please make sure that you are watching out that New York stores have begun enforcing a ban on the sale of whipped cream canisters for those people under the age of 21. Now you figure, of all the years I've gone to the store, bought some whipped cream, and really thought I was doing this shit and just spraying it in my mouth because it was just like, oh yeah, this is great.
You ain't know you're getting high.
Yeah. I didn't, the shit people think of nowadays.
I would have never thought that 1,000 years. Hey, Melissa, we could have used that whipped cream on them little ass Twinkie things you had. They were little. Did you see hers Saturday?
No,
she had these little cakes.
I was at a service Saturday.
Oh man, they were little. They like the size of cupcakes, man. And I know that they were bigger. You know how they, what is it, shrinkflation or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
You say paying the same price, but the product has gotten small. And these things were like, I could eat one in a whole bite. Matter of fact, I know for a fact I could eat a whole box by myself.
Were those intimate muffin things?
You know what? I don't know what the names was. I don't know. It was somebody. It wasn't Little Debbie snack cakes. It was somebody's snack cakes. But I was like, God damn!
They might have been the little intimate muffin thingies. So that's where them things have gotten smaller and smaller, like every year.
And you know what? I stopped buying when they get that small. I just stopped buying that.
It's like no point.
It's ridiculous. That's about as bad as the candy bars. You know.
Yeah. Right. Except for you when you go to like the rest stops or rest people where people be traveling and you'll get a bigger one. But yeah, IDs will be checked, so get your IDs ready when you buy an
account. Get that whipped cream
in New York, and I'm sure it's going to be other cities as well.
Who would ever thought that whipped cream you would need to be carded?
Yeah, like I really cannot. I can't even get even to the story because I'm so like, this doesn't make any sense.
Those sexy nights.
But
you thinking you doing something? That's because your motherfucker high off of the Cool Whip.
You're right, the canister. So the canister of the Cool Whip is actually nitrous oxide, which is a laughing gas, and it is kind of like an anesthetic. So these kids have been getting high off of
huffing
the Cool Whip. So long-term effects of this can be loss of blood pressure, fainting, heart attacks, and sudden death.
Well, get me some cans.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even know it was like that.
I ain't got no weed money. But I get 2 cans of whipped cream and
they come to non-dairy now. It's on and popping. I'm all with it.
It's popping, all right. Yeah.
I'd be high as shit, but I didn't even know you could do that. I'm so like astonished. I am really sitting over here like.
You say that's why your niece was asking for him. Yeah, you'd be surprised some of the stuff I would have never thought.
That is crazy.
Listen, said, not my weed. Just think about Melissa. You can get high off the whipped cream, then eat a little snack.
Right. You'd be double high.
Oh, and well fed.
No, yeah, and well fed. Yeah. And the sweet tooth, it will handle the sweet tooth too.
Yeah, but
That's
you
a
know
two
what?
in one. That's a
You send your
twofer.
ass to you gain weight and send your ass to the dentist.
That's a twofer. Who would turn that down? That's awesome. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I would have never thought, but now I'm gonna have to go get me some.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to rethink my whole thing. Like,
Yeah, don't get the whipped cream out the tub. Just
oh
you have
no,
to get the
no, no,
aerosol.
no. As Stewie would say, Cool Whip. No
Cool
Cool
Whip.
Whip. Yes,
Whip.
don't do that. But definitely, what's that? Ready Whip.
Mm-hmm. Everybody, and you know what? You know all this shit's gonna start flying off the shelves.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's gonna be ready to whip your ass. You realize, oh, I really.
Yeah, you got to show ID. You got to be what 21, right?
Yeah, 21.
God.
21 to have some ready whip in your mouth.
Remember when they did that down here when they were huffing the silver and gold spray paint?
The spray cans. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember when that
Like,
was.
why is that locked up?
I remember when that was a
And you
thing.
see people walking around with gold
Right.
mustaches and silver mustaches. They huffing.
Oh Lord. Oh, I remember it was some kind of glue in the bag, and people used to do that.
Model glue. When I used to put together models, I couldn't get the glue, which is it would come in the orange tube.
I
couldn't get the glue as like a 12-year-old or something like that. We just go in the store. I had to have a parent with me to get the glue because they would take it, put it in a bag, in a paper bag. That's what they use, paper bags, those small ones. Right. And you open it up and you would huff the fumes and it would get you high.
Crazy. Losing sound like Joe Clark. You lose your brain cells, son. You lose your brain.
Oh yeah.
Stupid and stuff.
Cheap highs everywhere. We didn't even know. They take advantage of all that stuff.
Damn, that is so crazy. In other news, the Maryland police officer is being sued for threatening a 5-year-old boy, the sheriff department says, and this happened in Montgomery County. The office of the county attorney of Montgomery County has reached a settlement with the parents of a 5-year-old student who was confronted by a county police officer for leaving school. According to the news, the parent claimed that in their lawsuit, the officer was verbally abusive and falsely arrested the boy. But a 5-year-old, though?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I could see you.
And they cuffed him.
Yeah, and cuffed him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did all that.
That's to our children. They do those.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's just what I was going with it. And again, people always say, "Well, why is it about race?" Because it is. Because you wouldn't have done that to a child that looks like yours or looks like your son or your daughter. You wouldn't have done that. You would have, you definitely would have,
you would have drug them back to school.
But you would have took them back to school, explained to them the importance of education. Or hey, you shouldn't be because you want to make sure the child is safe. But to do all that, being verbally abusive, handcuffing,
oh yeah, he was saying everything in the book,
right? Stuff that child.
They handcuffed the baby, and that's not the first time, Patty. They've done that down in Florida.
Yeah, the body cam footage shows the officer yelling at the boy repeatedly while he was sobbing, and he even put him in the back of the police car in handcuffs.
Mm-hmm. Now, he wasn't traumatized before. Now, what they should have done was find out, first of all, how did the kid 5 years old get out of school?
That's hello. Because that was my thing. Like, how the hell did he get out of school? Why are we not even talking about that part of it? So the whole thing is just ridiculous. They should sue the hell out of them, the school district, and everybody else. And speaking of these dumbass police officers, let's take a trip down to Cincinnati, where an officer gets the boot after getting caught saying the N-word. Now, the city of Cincinnati has announced that the officer former officer, Rose Valentino, who has been fired after being caught on video on her own body camera using the N-word, according to the news outlet. Just a few years ago, the city had signed a collaborative agreement in efforts to mandate a police community relationship in which to try and kind of smooth over all of the kind of police brutality situations. So of course she didn't get the damn memo because she out there still doing the shit. But yeah, she was driving past a high school when she turned on her lights to signal parents waiting to pick up their kids to move out of the way, where she is heard on the body camera calling them effing Negroes. I hate fucking them. You gotta fucking move. It's ridiculous. You fucking a-holes. Yeah, she was saying a whole lot of shit.
What made her turn on her body cam? She wasn't on a call or anything like that?
No, she wasn't on the call. So what made her turn it on? I don't know.
Gotcha,
Maybe
bitch.
she even cut it on, or she didn't even notice she had it on, I guess.
Look at God.
Right. Just stepping in right on time. But yeah. But I mean, again, this is where we are come to a place where we're not surprised. And I wish people would stop acting like these police officers don't have these bigoted, racist kind of feelings in them, because they do. Just because they're on a job where they're supposed to protect and serve, they can choose to protect and serve who they want, and they still have these prejudices. No matter how many, kind of workshops you create, the problem is, unfortunately, a lot of these people will have to be uprooted out of these positions so they can get it. Because just go to a class of diversity, you'll be all right. You get a certificate, you can go about your business, and you still have these attitudes, which makes no sense. Yeah, she should lose her job, and there's no, but she's probably going to lose her job, with pay or with some kind of settlement or severance.
Yeah,
but
they didn't say what she didn't get, or if she lost her pension or something like that. But then they could move to another force.
Right. And that too. They just transfer somewhere in some old hick town where nobody really knows the situation, and get hired again.
And that's why you need a database. And they keep saying that it should be a federal database, but it's something that in the private sector that can be done also.
Yeah, of course.
You don't necessarily have to be through the federal government to track them, because if you wait for them to pick up the gauntlet on that one, you'll be waiting forever.
Right. And here's some other bullshit for you. In South Dakota, high school of black students, they got the memo that they have to cut their dreadlocks or leave our school.
There's a lot of that going on this year again.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, what is that for? Like, people can't wear their hair how they want to wear their hair? I'm confused.
Oh, no, they want you to conform. And these are mostly Christian schools. Right. They want you to conform because, say he has locks and it's up off of his shoulder. If you read the dress code, and it tells you that we want your hair, it cannot be laying on your shoulders. They don't go into detail and say, anything special, like it needs to be tapered or whatever.
Okay. But when the white boys come into school with their hair on their shoulders
and their mohawks and things
their
like
mohawks
that.
And their, whatever, there's nothing said. Nothing at all. So I just find that to be, but there's a law in the books against hair discrimination.
Yeah, it's called the Crown Act.
Yeah.
But I think because
certain states, of course, have adopted it, and others,
Yeah. But I think too, because it's religious institutions.
That's what I'm trying to see, if it's a private school or not.
Because I heard of another one where the young boy, I think he's 2, and he was going through the summer session, and he had gone. He had to be about 2, but he had gone there like the year before, and there was never anything said about it. Then they send a memo home with the kid saying that his hair has to be cut and it has to be done by Monday. You could, it gives you 2 choices: you either cut it or you have to find someplace else.
Still confused as to what does the length of his or her hair have to do with it. Because they say it's not an issue of culture, it's an issue of length. But if it's the length, then what about the length makes it problematic? Because they don't specify.
Because it's oh yeah, they don't specify, but deep down inside, it's because they want you to look like look like them. That type of thing. They want it to be, as they put it, what's presentable. But that's being presentable.
As long as it's neat and done, you're not paying to get it. Are you paying to get it maintenance? No, the parents are, or the child is. I don't. I mean, and being in both spaces where I've seen white kids look like they just rolled out of bed, hair ain't been washed.
They rolled right out of that pissy bed.
Looking all types of crazy, all in your face, all doing this all day. It's so dirty that you look like a pizza because you got all this acne on your face from your dirty ass hair touching your face. I mean, all that shit all day long. Hey, what's going on, Avatar Nation? What's going on, Sir King? That, it's just crazy. It is really crazy to me. I don't.
But that's what it basically boils down. They want you to conform to their standards of, because if you in some of the articles they refer to them as dreadlocks,
right? Of course,
and
which is, of course, here we go with the there's no racism in this country. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If it ain't one thing, it's another.
Look, with the Christian schools, you just say, look, Jesus had long hair.
Right. Jesus had hair like wool. What does wool look like?
Mm-hmm.
Last time I checked, it wasn't stringy and looking like that picture.
That's discrimination against men and women. Do not have to cut their hair to a certain length. Yeah, as long as it's kept nice.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but
I saw nothing wrong with it.
It's bad. They do it in the black church. I remember I was going to church one Sunday and the minister was telling the youth not to have dreads, that it didn't look professional and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like, if you pay to get it done and you make sure it's clean and neat, like there's nothing wrong with that. No. I think we always,
it all depends on what that person that has it, what it means to them.
Right? Exactly.
Because if you don't know the education of it, there's more than just the standard locks that you have. You have free form,
right?
Some are done for religious purposes and things like that, and there's a certain ritual that's done. Mm-hmm. And if you don't understand that, they all look dirty to you.
Right.
I think the only time I had somebody, when I had my hair so many years ago, when I had mine, I only had one negative thing, and that was from a black woman.
Mm.
That's because I wouldn't give her time of day, because she was just nasty. She was a skank.
Not a skank.
No, she was a skank. I was not interested. You shouldn't. And she said, "Oh, you shouldn't. They look nasty and dirty." I was like, that's like they were in the very beginning stage.
Yeah.
Twist. They would twist, and I was like, no, I don't care what you like.
That's when I first told some people that I was going to get locks many years ago myself. You're not going to look right now. I'm like, if I look right with short hair, I'll look right with longer hair. Then once they start to go, oh, I like them, you look really nice. It's just hair. I will look right either way. I mean, it's whatever. But yeah, that's crazy. I think people should be free to express themselves and their cultures and whatever. Again, if we're a nation of quote unquote freedoms, then people should be free to do what they want to do. There is no religious kind of notation that, your hair must be cut a certain way. So I'm not buying it, but to each his own. But I would definitely say if you do get hit with some kind of, your child has to cut their hair, lead them towards the Crown Act and let them know that you will nicely take their asses to court or to the school board or wherever you need to go to fight for your child's rights or even your own. All right, so moving right along, Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago. has one of the most recent black politicians to be darkened in political ads. Now,
That's a hot mess.
yeah, she already looks a hot mess. And no offense to the Chicagoans, but she does look a hot mess. So what is happening here is a lot of the politicians who are black and of color, a lot of their ads or negative ads against what they're doing, they have been darkened, a lot darker than their actual skin color. Now, what this does to actual voters, I don't know. Hard to say. I mean, I guess if a voter already feels some type of way about black people or skin, or is kind of a colorist as far as skin is concerned, or skin color, it may trigger something. I don't necessarily know, but this has been a trick that has been used for many years, but recently it has really been an uptick of darkening black and politicians of color skin in attack ads.
Did I send you a picture
Of her?
Yeah, where they did a side by side.
No, I think I seen it in the clip. I can look back and sure.
It may be on easy.
Sure, I'll look and see. It might be easier for me to just.
I was going to say because I have a copy of it, but I don't know how to do a photo.
Okay, I got it.
Is it the same as the video?
I think so. Just poopy doopy doop this over here, and oh, that's a long one. Can I rename it? Let's see. Insane evil. This is what happens when you're live. Let's see. Now let me get over here and see if I can. It would probably go here. Oh, I forgot where I saved it that quick. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? No, it didn't save. Oh, YouTube. Okay. Let me see. Where are you? Here we go. All right, cool. This is what they're doing. If it'll show. All right. So this is what they're doing. As you can see,
they're both scary, but one's scarier than the
other. They both look a hot mess. But in regular conference, the press conference, you can see on the lighter side, that is Mayor Lightfoot. And on the other side, Mayor Lightfoot is darkened. And that is a lot of the attack ads are giving that same approach to a lot of the black and politicians of color as of recent. I mean, it's always been an attack kind of quote unquote dog whistle to color. But they have really upped the ante this election cycle. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with the January 6th crybabies and the orange man who, still screaming about the raid at his home that he knew about, that the reason why he didn't show up and he was in Westminster golfing with the Saudi Arabians. I don't know. I have no idea, but
I would not have paid any attention because she looks a hot mess with those raggedy ass suits she has on. So I just figured it was her. It's like, oh, she's having a hot greasy day.
Well, I mean, she likes to shop at K&G. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. It's very much K&G. I really, and it's like, it's cool. I don't even have an issue with people dressing like you want to wear a suit, wear a suit. You want to wear whatever,
Yeah,
wear
but
whatever.
clothes just don't
But
fit.
make sure it's fitting and it looks nice. Like you don't. It don't have to look like that. Like that does
Bag
not.
lady.
Yeah, that gives me bag lady for real, and not bag lady with problems. Bag lady with like bags.
Mm-hmm. Gee, dude, they don't fit. They big. They elephant legs.
Yeah.
He's the man or woman side. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I would be surprised to say that maybe the shirt, the blouse comes from the woman's side, and everything else comes from like the short husky side, because she just looks like it does not. It's not flattering at
They're
all.
like 2 or 3. They're like 2 sizes too big.
Two
Everything.
sizes too big. It's just it's not the right color.
Yeah, and she's short, and it makes her look shorter.
Shorter, right? You have these long ass legs that are in these pants with
Patty,
the
it's a stud side. They have a stud side in the store.
Oh, it's a stud side. They do.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, all the thick necks go.
It must be where they sell the tape. It must be where the tape is sold.
Oh, no, anyway. A lot of them have graduated now. They wear the compression tops.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, men, you can do that too when you get man boobs. Wear the compression top. They work great.
Oh, okay. Well, for those of you who have man boobs, listen up. Get your things together. Tie them things up. But anyway, in other news, the U.S. government will end the at-home COVID test. So please make sure that you go or you sign up to get your 4 or 8 or how many ever they're going to let you get, because they will be closing down shop as of Friday.
Friday is the last day.
Yes. Friday is the last day for you to get your free COVID test. So you can pre-order now because Friday the site will be down. So yeah, do that. Now
the link that I'm putting in
is for the test.
It's for the test. It will take you to the website where you can order your test.
.gov is where you can go also, and Brother Nate will pop it in the chat for you all, so you can order your 4 or 8. I think it's 8 max.
Order people that you don't even.
Yeah,
you can just go ahead. It's real simple. All you have to do is put in. You put in their information. All they want is a name and address, but you can use your email to track it.
Right.
Because that's what I did. I did several people.
Yeah.
They all only put their address in and just use my email address to track it. Because they figure not everybody's going to be on the internet to do it. Because they were real quiet about it.
Yeah, they were. They were really cool. I mean, I heard them talking that they were going to end it, but yeah, I didn't know it was going to be like this week, because they were running low on money. That's why they stopped even doing the shot, because
that's because they didn't want to extend it.
Right.
So it's fucking Republicans.
Yeah. And speaking of Republicans, nice segue. Republicans are poised for a small gains in the House, polls suggest. Now, I don't really necessarily believe polls all the time, because polls can be biased, because it all depends on who you ask. But my whole suggestion to that is you've already seen a small smidget of what the Republicans can do if they actually gained some power in the House and or the Senate. So trust and believe it could only get worse. And I'm not saying that I'm a total fan of every Democrat, but if you want to protect your right and your freedom to have an abortion, whether you choose to or not as a woman or as someone who is a part of the LGBT, be married to whomever or live with whomever or do whatever you please, you might want to reconsider or really take a look at who you're voting for, because these Republicans are not playing and they're trying to gut everything. So trust and believe that voting is most important. I really don't care who you vote for, but just please know that
vote your interest.
Vote your interest, and your vote matters. trust and believe. If it didn't, they wouldn't be trying to.
Oh, that's why they are losing their minds, and they are doing everything that they can. And making it sound as though they are all righteous and everything.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, Mitch McConnell has set to lose the Senate, and he's not happy about it. But of course, they don't really have candidates because the candidates that are taking over are Trumpian candidates. But these people are complete knuckleheads.
But then they have no topics either.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got two governor. You got a governor in Arizona running on the GOP ticket who wants to overthrow Arizona's votes for president, because if he's governor, he can do that. He could put somebody in who will be the attorney general, and the attorney generals of the states oversee elections. Now, granted, that'll be an uphill battle, but it's still something to throw something at an already done deal, to keep the fire going that this election, wasn't done in a legitimate fashion. And it was. I mean, he lost. I just don't, move on, go back again to 24.
Leave it 24 and he's still crying about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and leave it be. Fight for 24. Why are we still focusing on something that you lost? That's what happened. People actually woke up, and I just hope they stay woke and don't fall back to sleep, because this president ain't gonna make it too much longer.
No. He was kind of perky today. He must have.
Yeah, he
must have had some whipped cream.
He had some. He didn't have no Cool Whip as usual. He had some Ready Whip. He was ready. I did watch his press conference today. It was fiery. It was the Joe that people expected.
Nap time.
He must have had a good nap, because he was.
Oh, it'll do it. Like, a good nap. You sleep too long, it'll fuck up your whole schedule.
So, I mean, it was decent. He did talk about, he did call the Republicans out for talking about how they are law enforcement or backing the blue, but yet they won't condemn the people who have done the things that they did on January 6th, which even caused an officer to lose his life, which they say happened after the fact. But clearly, he lost his life due to the bullshit that those people did. But nobody wants to, because they don't want to blame themselves for murdering a police officer, so they'll throw it on somebody else. But so please make sure you just go out and vote. That's mainly what it is. Primaries were all last month. I think there's a few other primaries about to end soon, and the primaries are just to pick your candidates for a Republican main ticket and your Democratic main ticket. So soon we'll be heading into the election season, in which you will be voting for your Republican or your Democratic candidate, and that'll be that. So if you don't pick who you want, during these primaries, then you get who you're stuck with. But just vote nonetheless, even if you don't, if you didn't get a chance to do your primary, study on the candidate that is picked. I know here in Maryland we have West Moore for governor running, and you have a couple of delegates for your particular counties and areas. But just know do your research, because it is important. These elected officials, they do most of the work. All these little programs and things that are done because of your governors and your state attorneys and your legislation that is in the state that you live in. A lot of the Washington stuff, I mean, that counts too, but not as much as
your state can block a lot of that stuff.
Your
state has a lot of power, believe me. When the federal government decides they want to do a sweeping whatever, even with like the Roe versus Wade,
right.
There are a lot of states that say, no, we're still going to have abortion. I don't know what you do with that. What hell you want to do over there?
Right. Like California, for example, who is asking. Californians are asking to step up and pay a little more in taxes to help pay for people who want an abortion to be able to travel to the state and get one. So,
We'll be passing out free blunts. And it all it's all legal over there. So,
I'm not.
that's
I'm not
just
even
asking. I mean,
I don't.
you have to have some sort of incentive.
I don't even know. That's some sort of
It wouldn't hurt, but I bet you'd get more participation that way.
You probably would get more participation. Let's see.
Oh, one quick rollback real fast.
Yeah, sure.
On the testing kits,
Mm-hmm.
you could, if you ordered one, you could order another one. It wasn't just a one-time thing. You can order multiple.
Yeah, well, the max like 8, I think.
Yeah, you get
4.
You get 4 at a time. They automatically give you 8. They send you 2 packs, which are
I think
2 in the box or whatever.
2
but if you ordered in at the very beginning, you can order again.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple, you can get multiple times.
Yeah.
So if you ordered it the first time and that was the only time you ever ordered any, you can place another order. Just make sure you do it before Friday.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got here. Before I get to the other bullshit. No, we can save that one for last.
We just did the polls. You didn't do the polls, did you?
Yeah, we did the polls. Missouri School District. The Missouri School District is reinstating spanking students as a last resort.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that.
The Missouri School District has decided to reinstate punishment in which in the classroom, students will be allowed to be punished with a paddle under a new policy. The school board has approved the policy in June and notified parents that the Missouri Cassville School District is bringing back spanking, a disciplinary measure abandoned by the district in 2001, according to the Springfield newsletter. This change to reinstate spanking after a survey went out to parents last year, revealing that they wanted additional discipline and that it was one of their major concerns. Because I'm getting to where I want to see where this affects our children, because I know this is where it's going. Give me 1 second. Nope, that was it on that. Let's see. Parents who wanted their children to be hit can sign an opt-in form that was provided by the school office. It is unclear how many parents will allow their child to be hit. This is interesting. I was looking to see if they would show statistically who this would work with. But the U.S. Supreme Court had ruled that corporal punishment in schools was constitutional and left it up to the states to decide to enforce it. Currently, there are 19 states across the U.S. where spanking or some sort of punishment in school is allowed. The majority of the states that permit it, though, are in the South.
I can't find that article.
What, the one you sent me?
Mm-hmm. That's what makes it so bad.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts on what y'all think about that.
Okay.
What'd you say? Let's see.
I remember the last time, we used to get cracked on the knuckles with a ruler. With a wooden ruler. That's when they made it with real wood. And that was in the first grade. And that was without permission, because I know.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Shane. That's what I'm saying. So they could be So they can beat your kid. They can sign up. You can sign up your child for somebody else to whoop your kids behind.
That's white people. They want to be friends with their children. They don't want to discipline them. Because if your child's cutting up that bad that they need to be paddled.
Well, see, that's the thing. Because my mother was a stealth mama. And I say that meaning when she showed up,
oh yeah, you didn't
my
know.
teachers would be mad at me, like, why you didn't tell me your mother was coming? Bitch, I didn't know. She'd pop up. Well, and that's mainly because we had an older brother who liked to skip out and stuff like that. So she would do rounds at everybody's school. She'd just pop up. She wouldn't say nothing. She'd just be like, hey, you know, you be walking in the hallways like, what you doing here? Hi.
Somebody's sick.
Huh? And
somebody's sick.
Right. And they'd be looking like,
what you do?
Here. Why is your mother here? I don't know. They didn't tell me because she didn't play no games. If she was coming to pop up on me, she's coming to pop up on you too. Like as a teacher, she's popping up on you. She's making sure that, you know, as much as I'm doing my work, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing too. So as for that, I say that she did that even with my brother. And at the time he was in high school. And she'd pop up on him and he'd be cutting. He'd cut the whole class. My mother would sit in the classroom, take notes, have the whole thing down. She'd go home and be like, yeah, so how was history? Oh, it was cool. We did. Really? Where's your homework? Oh, we didn't have no homework. Really? And she'd pull out her thing and be like, oh, yeah. So actually, you did have homework. It was this, that, and the other. So where were you in class? Like, why were you not in class? And trust and believe he got his ass beat. And, you know, I laughed. But again, I say all that to say that discipline and all that starts at home. And I really did this whole thing of you can't beat your child, but we're going to let the school do it. I find that hugely problematic. But, you know,
it's a real problem. That's a real problem. Yeah, here, like I said, it stopped at first grade, and it wasn't because the parents was crunk and ratchet out here, really? On teachers, but you never know. And like with anything, when it comes with disciplining your children, suppose the teacher's screaming at some other kid,
right,
and you did something, so now she's boxing your ass up.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have to stand in a corner. You had to stand in a corner and turn your back to the classroom, and that was it. But they could not put their hands on you. Yeah. But this is white people, because white people don't want to they want to be friends and friendly with their children all the time, and they hate.
But that's why their kids be cursing them out in the stores.
Yeah, if you listen to how their children talk to them, like they're equal.
Yeah,
you are not equal to your parent.
No way.
I'm fucking 60 years old. I am not equal to my mother or my father or anyone who's before me. I am not equal, and I owe them that respect.
Right.
But they talk to their parents like they're talking to their friends.
Gee, I wish I would tell Mom, get out of my room. Out of your what?
You know,
doors off the hinge.
She beat your ass with that goddamn door after she took it off, because now you don't have no door to close.
You don't have no door, no room, no nothing, because I pay for it. So it's what? I wish I would. My mother would bust that thing open in a minute. Or her famous line was, "Kill that TV on. I will cut the cord." And I was like, oh, "You're really gonna cut the cord? I will cut every cord in here. You won't play not a game, not a video, not a TV, not a nothing." But again, that starts with discipline at home. I mean, granted, it doesn't necessarily have to be a spanking, because my mother could give a look or say one word and it'd be like, "Oh, yep, that's not gonna be good." But
I told you, my father couldn't discipline us.
Yeah.
My mother wouldn't she wouldn't let him discipline us. She said she had us. You won't touch us.
Yeah. My mother was that way too. That was unsaid, but
because and plus we were too terrified anyway. Because if he says something to you, you just fall apart. You be crushed. that type of thing.
Now that's how my sister was with my mother, and I'd be like, "Stupid, she ain't even hit you yet." Like
I know, but you would have thought.
She would just go run to get the belt, and my sister start crying, and I'm like, at least let her hit you, and then you cry. Like, who cries beforehand? That's so stupid.
Yeah, but then they play the mind games because it's like they'll let you go all day long, or go to the goddamn end of the week. She said, "You know I owe you an ass whipping, right?"
No,
I was like, well, goddamn. I was like, goddamn. That was Tuesday.
No,
It's Friday. It's
no,
a weekend. I want to go out and have a good time.
no,
You ain't going nowhere, and you're going to get punished.
My mother never did that, boy. She
always
made sure.
My mother worked at nights. She was
Yeah,
fucking
my mother did too. My mother worked at night too, but no,
she was too fucking tired.
The only time you got one was when you definitely, if it was
something really bad,
right? If it was something really bad, trust and believe, you was getting it right then and there on the spot. There was no negotiating that was happening. But if it was something where she was, say, at work or leaving for work, and it's something that you did after she was going, oh yeah, that next day you was getting it. So be prepared. Like there was no.
And the one thing my mother did, she would never beat us when she was angry.
Yeah.
You have to. That's one thing I learned. She said, you never discipline when you're angry when they do something.
Right.
She's like, just tell them to get out your face.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of times she's like, get out my face. I don't see
it. Right.
You know, because you don't want to hurt them by mistake, just swinging
right.
swinging on a kid, you know.
Right. When she's like, I'm gonna put this belt up and I'm gonna start punching you. I was like, Ma, you're gonna hurt yourself. Then she hurt her hand and she, my hand hurt. Well, I didn't tell you to punch me.
I guess they get mad at you because she hurt her hand.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to punch me. But yeah. And
that is definitely a
problem. For the record, yes, I got the most beatings out of my siblings. Yep, because my mouth was crazy. I was always the questioner. So
no, I was sneaky. I just like to play with fire. I love playing with alcohol and fire.
Oh hell,
burning shit in the damn sink.
Not burning shit. What is that smell? Paper burning. Stuff starts flying up in the air. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, boy, you happy in here? You better kill us all.
That was never my thing. And I always, if I was on punishment, my best defense was get her while she sleep, because she worked at night, so she slept during the afternoon, and they'd be like, "Ma, can I go outside? Huh? Can I go outside? Can I go outside?" She'd be like, "Yeah, go ahead. Be outside." Why are you outside? Didn't I tell you to go outside? No, you actually said I could go outside.
She said, "I told you about talking to me while I'm asleep."
Right.
Because you just want them to get out of your face. Why are you talking to me?
Right.
I did a double. I don't even know who you are. Ma, can I have cereal for dinner? Yes, you can.
Right. Never got a whooping. Oh, really?
Never?
That's crazy. Never got a whooping?
I just can't imagine not.
Yeah, I now I didn't get those whippings where like you had to get out the tub and you was wet.
No, I did get an extension cord whipping once.
No,
and that was because I was with people that I shouldn't have been with.
Okay.
I still don't understand why. It's like, I told you not to go with them, but I didn't do nothing. Yeah, but I told you not to go. So you're going to have to get the punishment. And it was one of those ones, I'm too angry right now. Yeah, got that extension cord whip. Ain't that shit electrified? That will change your life. I saw Jesus, and I don't even believe in a Jesus. I saw Jesus and everybody else. Unreal.
Wow. Nope.
That was with clothes on. That shit was, I mean, stuff nowadays, you would go to jail. Yeah, you would definitely go to jail.
I've never had to pull off a branch off a tree and didn't.
Yeah, we would get a switch. Nope. That's when you little. No, that was really more of a mind fuck thing too. You pick out.
My mother had this big old brown belt.
Your own discipline. That's when they couldn't find the belt. No, you know what the worst thing is? Them fucking spoons and forks that hang up. And you ever see those in the old kitchens?
The wooden things?
They're ornamental. Yeah, they're wooden. Yeah. Yes, the spoons. Really? Off of that. Act like a look, when they try to whip your ass, they just reaching for every goddamn. They don't.
No.
Yes.
I never got beat with one of those.
Yes.
Nope. Just the belt. just about. And then
So
the
like I
one
said, your
time,
ass would go to jail now. You'd be in jail.
yeah. And then the one time my mom was yelling at me about something, and she went to hit me, but she hit my face, and my reaction. My dad jumped on me so fast. He was laying on top of me like, "Son, I don't think you want to do that." And I'm like, "Do what?" And I'm like, "Oh, because it was a reaction. She's never hit me in my face before, and I know it was an accident, but it was still like,
Yeah. Yeah, but then they're horrified.
Yeah.
Because that's what your backside is for.
Yeah.
You said my mother didn't believe in corporal discipline. There was a white woman living inside of her. We all wish we had white women living
inside our brothers. You're right.
Because they was whipping back
the
in those
only
days.
time the white woman showed up that lived inside my mother if she was on the phone. And it wasn't a relative
who's that
or
on the
like
phone?
that. If it was
I don't
like,
know who this person. Who is this person? The whole voice and mannerisms, everything would change.
Everything changed. It was
fucking
like
Gene Cleaver.
Who the hell is Miss Beaver Cleaver's mom? Where did she come from? It was definitely like, oh hi, hello. But
it's like, who the hell is that?
Right.
And then as soon as they hang up the phone, that bitch was back.
Right. And as soon as you hang up, you're like, you all in my ear. I'm on the phone. Like, no, she's back. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I can't see. Like I said, I have a problem with the school, them touching.
Yeah,
especially our kids. Period. Because the first thing I would say was shit.
But
you're killing us in the
street. The article. Right. That's why I was looking at the article. Like, who is this targeting? Because I mean, not only are you killing us out in the streets and in our schools, now you're gonna beat us. Now
you want to beat our kids.
Beat our kids in school, because it was like the parents had to then sign off. But you know how they do this whole pressure thing, where in which they will pressure parents into signing things. Well, your child could be suspended if you don't, whatever kind of tactics.
He's supposed to take the court. Yeah, but you don't want him. You don't want him home with you for 3 days, right? But what happened is they'll paddle the wrong one, and the mother flop there.
Yeah,
and lay waste to that place.
That's
an accident waiting to happen. I couldn't put the link in because it's the link is over 300 characters.
Oh, Jesus!
I was like, wow, all right, okay. Yeah, just look for ass whippings in school. You'll find it.
Yeah, Missouri ass whippings. Anyway, in other news, we can combine these two stories because they're kind of sort of similar. With this forgiveness, the loan forgiveness. Biden's pressured to do a loan forgiveness for $10,000.
They were holding out. They were holding out. They were trying to force everybody's hand to vote because they have reneged on so many other things. Let's take a paddle and go whip their ass.
Huh?
Let's take a paddle and go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't get a paddle and go whip Biden's ass. But $10,000 though, that's not even going to do anything. The people are still paying, even with the $10,000 forgiveness, they'll still be paying 95% of their debt. They're seniors paying student loan debt.
No, how about those people that made college a career? They didn't want to get out of school. They go there 5 years.
My God!
And just running up the monies.
Done got cars. I know some that done got cars. Off that done got apartments. Houses.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say apartments and
just crazy.
Clothing sprees and went on trips and all that stuff.
And you trying to figure out how the hell for $10,000.
Last time I paid for a college course, it was $60 for a biology class.
Jesus Christ,
$60. And the bitches handed me about that shit. Because I took a summer session. I was like, oh, this shit too deep. I can't do it. The summer session, they just cram all that shit on there. You really don't do it. You're really not learning anything.
You said $20,000 if you had a Pell Grant? Okay. I mean, whatever helps. I mean, I know it'll help a lot of people, but at the same time, for some of these, it's not really gonna
But the first thing I thought was he started with 10, and maybe later on they would come back with more.
Yeah, I mean, but they should. They should. The tax cut that the Republicans did was at least 1.5 trillion.
Oh, you
So
mean the
I
one
didn't understand.
I didn't get any money. I didn't get any monies back from. They fucked us big time with that shit.
What's the tax credit thing?
With the tax credit.
Oh yeah, of course.
They fucked
They
us.
always do.
My ass is still throbbing.
But the people quick to talk about how it benefited them. Yeah, okay, but then the bill is due. That's like you have an extra credit in your account and then you spend it up, and then you're like, okay, cool. Now it's time to pay the bill.
Well, that's why they'll talk about taking Medicare and Medicaid and taking your retirement.
Right. That's crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are still going to be in
professional students. I like how the
right.
It's about them PPP loans that they all had. Let's see, he should have been acting like
why are they not talking about that? They should be plastering that shit over everywhere. The Marjorie Taylor Greens, all those Republicans that talk shit about receiving government funds are the same ones that was out getting PPP forgiveness loans that they don't have to pay back. But private schools are different. Like, I went to a private college too, and they ain't cheap. They're not cheap at all.
No, I had put money away for the kids, and I said, "You decide to do whatever it is you want to do." I think I'll help you as much as I can, but that shit is up to you. You better get some grants and some scholarships. And I started hounding them when they hit high school. They started high school, 9th grade here. I said, you need to start seeing what is available to you, what you need to do to obtain this money. Right. I said, because I'm just trying to keep a roof over your head. That's all I'm doing. I said, because there ain't no guarantee. I said, you to school, because I know so many people have gone to college and they don't even have jobs in their field.
Yeah.
I said, you pay all that fucking money.
Yeah, that too.
You got a nice paper and it's in a nice frame. I could have got your frame. And they're not even in their field, or they go and they're in their field. Then they figure out once they get out there and they're in the real world that they don't like it.
Right. Yeah.
I said, you just wasted money wasted your time.
Yeah. Time and money. But definitely looking.
I was not going to be out there selling no ass, so you could better yourself, and then you're not going to take care of me when I get old. Hell with that shit.
On the pole. Not swinging on the pole. Not swinging on the pole. But
down at the pink.
And not the one that stink, but the one that wink. Oh God.
He said, I'm not co-signing any loans for anybody. Yeah, I was the same way. And my mother was the same way. Not co-signing any loans or anything like that. Then my father would. And when my father was slick. Let me tell you something. He didn't tell us that he was seriously ill. He was just signing shit.
I know good and well. He probably wasn't gonna be around the page.
He knew he wasn't gonna be here. And it's like it's one of those things like down the road you kind of put two and two together.
Yeah.
And it's like, and my brother-in-law did the same thing. His son got a house. They paid outright for the house plus $30,000 in renovations.
Okay.
So the house is paid for, and he passed away maybe like 6 months after. And he didn't, in some sort of way, because he used to be a bank manager.
Okay.
Some sort of way he finagled it where my sister didn't get stuck with any of the being responsible for it or anything like that. Did the same thing. But my mother is a staunch. She's like, no, we will be writing contracts out because you will be paying him. You will be paying back if I loan you any money.
Right.
That's definitely what was like. You want it? He say, you want it? Okay, no problem. Just bring me the paperwork. Tell me where to sign.
Not a certain pastor. Tell truth slayer. You crazy. In other news, a woman has to carry her baby to bury her baby. A woman who was denied an abortion for a fetus with a fatal condition in Louisiana. The hospital would not perform a procedure amidst the confession over the state ban that is forcing the woman to go to North Carolina to try to have an abortion because her uh, baby, the fetus inside of her that she's carrying, has half a skull. Yeah, and the baby will die. It's not like the baby will live. So they won't perform the abortion because of this state ban on abortion. And again, this is where the voting actually is important for conditions like this. When there are situations where people cannot, for people to have children that they know are going to die due to a condition that they have no control over, that you are demanding that this woman have this child. They do have a GoFundMe up for her campaign to actually get her help to get her to North Carolina. It has raised more than $30,000 in donations online at the GoFundMe, which was launched when the public heard about her pilgrimage earlier this month, her plight earlier this month to kind of go to North Carolina. So this is crazy. This is really, really crazy. She's only 36 years old. Yep. That's crazy. But this is really where.
And see, this is why they have guards at their homes.
Yeah.
Because I would have ran up on those motherfuckers.
Yeah. That's crazy though. That is really crazy. All the other arguments I get, but in situations of the R word, because you can't say that on here for whatever reason, and medical conditions that you can clearly tell that this child, unfortunately enough, will not live. You won't do it.
It's just torture.
Right. You would torture,
and I believe that they should be tortured also. You should feel my pain. That's why I get upset when these parents, after they've lost, a child or a loved one, when they get up here and it's like, I forgive. Fuck forgiveness.
Right.
I am not I'll forgive you when I'm deleting you. So the thing about it. When you're being deleted.
That's perfectly fine, because that's usually what it boils down to. Let's see. There was one story.
Yeah, here. John Q. Right on that. Butt.
Definitely like John Q. Let's see. Black COVID. Long haulers have felt invisible to the healthcare system, so they have formed their own support group. So this article coming out of NBC News talks about Black communities and people in the Black community who have had COVID and the long-term effects of COVID after they have gone through it, have come together with other people in the community and have created support groups with other doctors, nurses, to kind of get people aware of, one, the long-term effects, two, to places to go to get support for these conditions that are long after, like sinus infections, brain fogs, dry mouth, diarrhea, extreme fatigue due to sometimes from the coughing and stuff. People have had heart arrhythmias and all different types of things. So there have been a lot of doctors and nurses who have come together who are Black to help other Black people kind of get on the ball to support, because, of course, as we know, we don't get a lot of support in our communities when it comes to healthcare. We really don't. So that's important too. Again, this all kind of plays a part in a lot of this. When we talk about voting, when we talk about making sure that your vote matters, all of this definitely is important. I don't know what else to say.
I'm not surprised. It just
Yeah,
goes along with everything else.
all
You
these
know,
conditions definitely have a long-term effect on us. And being that we don't really have the fundings in our communities, especially for our health care, a lot of these things go unnoticed, unequipped. And it's nice to see that there are advocates out there who are trying to push this, especially for Black women who have been on record to be living with the most prolonged symptoms of COVID as of yet. But you were going to say, go ahead. Excuse me.
no, I'm just not surprised.
Yeah.
It just goes along with everything else. And then especially like with them being nurses and caregivers and things like that, that I figured that they would be looked at a lot closer and followed, with these with the long haul conditions.
Right.
But it's a standard United States protocol.
I didn't even really know the numbers. The numbers are staggering. That people that have unknown prolonged illness due to COVID are
and it
23
varies so much.
million people.
Yeah, and it varies so much. Everybody's
Different.
different.
The conditions. The one young lady in there, she lost her eye due to it. I was like, wow. It's crazy, but definitely check out that article. That's definitely tough. But for those people who have experienced COVID, and if you definitely see some symptoms in this article that you are experiencing, please, contact your local doctor or physician and see what you can do to kind of get help, and don't let it, fester and just think, oh, it's just nothing. It's just this. It's just that.
It will go away.
Right. Pay attention.
And if your doctor's not giving you the answers, find another doctor.
Yes, please do.
It's okay to say, bye, bitch.
Right.
Find somebody else because you're not doing it for me. Exactly. I mean, you treat them like you treat your auto mechanic.
Right.
You have that same mentality because, they're set. They get stuck in their ways also.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. I think we're just about that one. I think that one is the last one. What was this one? Oh, yeah. Dennis Rodman's goofy ass. Now that we come into the last bit of the stuff. So last week, I don't know if you guys were here, but if you was here last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about Dennis Rodman talking about he was going to Russia to go get Britney because he was about that life, and him and Putin are cool.
And how thug life went, right?
Right. He was gonna go get Britney because him and Putin are cool, and he talks to the dude in North Korea, and it's on and popping, and he knows how to work relations. Oh, now he's not going to Russia. In a week.
Why,
everything has changed. During the weekend, the former NBA player has reportedly told a news outlet that he was going to Russia to help that girl. Just 2 days after that, the former NBA player had told the news outlet that he was going abroad because he got permission to go to Russia to help get that girl, and so on and so forth. Now he's reversed course after the U.S. State Department had announced that Rodman's trip would not be on the behalf of the United States. So reportedly on Saturday, Dennis Rodman, while in Washington, D.C. restaurant, made a statement to the media outlet about his plans to travel, seeking to release the WNBA player Brittany Griner, and said on Monday that the U.S. government cautioned Rodman not to interfere with the case. Oh, he looks so disgusting.
Don't he? He would went to customs. They'd have just arrested him right there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Just lock his ass.
We know
up.
your blood test.
We know your blood and everything else
was an unknown chemical.
Off the charts, right? So Ned Price, who is the State Department spokesperson, told NBC News that during a press conference that Rodman did not go to Russia and he would not be traveling on behalf of the United States government. And then he added that we believe that anything other than the negotiating team wouldn't further the case of getting her released. So to basically stay the fuck out of it.
He'd get over there and mess the whole damn thing up.
Right.
And
It be
he was only talking about getting
too.
her back.
Yeah. And you'd be
Because they were also
trying
talking
to
about
do something like that.
negotiating for 2 others.
What about Nancy Pelosi's stupid butt? I mean, she's a fool too. We talked about her last week too, taking her old ass over there to Taiwan for what?
With a powder blue suit on.
With a powder blue suit on. She could barely walk and stuff. Everybody giving me John McCain arm with the stiffness. Mm-hmm. It's like, go sit down.
Got all those little Oriental people over there in a tizzy.
Yeah.
And they roll just running their boats up and down the lake.
You know what? Not running their boats. And
I'm trying to be politically correct, because if I said it the way I want to say it, you wasn't gonna get shit. You might get clicked. It's what happened. They just snatched the ball.
It don't matter anyway. They don't really support me anyway. But thanks to you all for your support. But it's all right. So the Star Trek actress, who died like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nichelle
Nichols. She will be her ashes will be going up in space.
I hope they actually go, because you know what happened to Scotty.
He ain't dead. Oh, it's Spock.
Scotty's dead.
Scotty,
the old Scotty.
Scotty.
Old Scotty.
Irish. Is that the Irish?
Yes, the Irish.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. He went up when they first started sending people's remains up. It's some private company. The capsule crashed down here up in some mountains. It's not funny, but it's funny, but it's not funny.
Well, I mean, he was already burnt up, so he burnt up twice.
Yeah, and he's up in it.
And he's sitting on the mountains.
Yeah, he's on somebody's mountain.
Oh.
So I hope she actually makes it.
Different Curse podcast. What's going on?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
That's when they first started doing that. Sending partial your remains.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, hopefully she makes it
to
infinity and beyond, in the words of Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, I guess
it's cool. To infinity and beyond.
In the words of Buzz Lightyear.
Shit. Or end up in Florida.
Oh. Don't end up. Well, as long as you don't end up as somebody's snack, like that one woman on the TLC show, My Strange Addictions. You never seen that? Where the lady was eating her boyfriend's ashes?
Oh, yeah.
Her fiance, husband, whoever the fuck he was, and she was eating them shit. Just. She was like, it was a little bit on my finger, and I just licked it, and I liked it. Then she was, and I'm like, well, what happens when the shit run out?
She'll get somebody else.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
Oh, speaking of that, remember the young rapper that had the funeral in the nightclub?
Yeah, I was just watching the video.
I watched that today too with the mortician.
The mortician lady. Yeah, I
watched her stuff.
Yeah, I watched her stuff too.
That was crazy.
That was really crazy. So
but I understood it.
Right. Yeah. So it's this white mortician lady. She talks about deaths because she's a mortician, but she does like earthy ones, like ones where you get buried in like capsules and you become a tree and all kinds of stuff, which I think is somewhat cool. Like, I don't know about the bug thing because that would freak me out, but I'm dead.
I wouldn't want tree. Yeah, plant a tree. That's enough.
But I become a tree though. Like, you're a pod, and then you become your body becomes a tree. So I think that part.
You've been huffing a lot of Cool Whip.
No, but I think that's cool. Then you provide for the environment for years and years to come, and you are
or having green burials.
Hey, what's up, Rebel? Yeah, a green burial where it's like it's not the casket thing. It is something that is biodegradable. You're not. You know what? I will want. You know what? Whatever. So, so you're biodegradable and you go back into the earth. There's no embalming, none of that. You basically get viewed, wrapped up in a biodegradable kind of shawl, almost like an Islamic burial. and that's it. And you become grass and food for everything else. Uh, but she talks about all these different variables. She talks about the assassination of Kennedy, how they got this big elaborate casket to carry his body when he was assassinated, but the shit started breaking up because it was like, it looked nice, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was cheap. But money was supposed to be no expense. So of course that funeral home just got the most biggest, gaudiest thing, and they couldn't carry it. It wouldn't fit in Air Force One. It was a mess. So by the time they got to DC, to Andrews Air Force Base, it was a hot mess. Literally, the body almost fell out of the bottom of the casket. So they had to get a new casket. But anyway, she talks about a whole bunch of other historical deaths and things of that nature. But she was talking about the young rapper in DC or the DMV area that died, and his body was like standing up straight in the nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
And how everybody was a bit kind of like, why would you do that? This, that, and the other. The family was saying that, of course, he didn't go to church or anything like that. So that would have been something that he would have not wanted. And she said she didn't want people looking down on, like no one would look down on her son. They would be looking up at him. So that's one of the reasons why she had his body propped up in a nightclub.
But I liked how they made the comparison, because there was another man, it was a white guy
Mm-hmm.
who was riding a Harley bike,
Right.
and he was actually
Mm-hmm.
encased in just like a glass box.
A fiberglass
Mhm.
box with his Harley, sitting on his Harley, and he was buried on the bike in the glass casket.
Yeah, just lowered down.
Just lowered
Which
down.
I would have thought it would break.
Yeah, I would think so too, with the pressure of the
Pressure of
dirt and all that stuff.
Yeah, that it would just actually just crumble.
Yeah.
But the woman that she was interviewing with, I like how they
She broke it down. Yeah.
yeah, how it's a racial thing.
Yeah.
Because it was okay for the white guy on the Harley to have this elaborate, quirky
funeral.
Funeral.
Yeah.
And they looked at this young man who was a rapper, an entertainer.
Yeah.
And his mother's last wish was to have him presented in this manner.
Right.
And at a nightclub.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Yeah, but I didn't like how the nightclub backed out of it when people was pressuring them because of the situation. We didn't know.
Oh, as long as they got paid, they would charge them $40 at the door.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. There's no way you didn't know anything about it. Of course, you had to know. It's in your establishment, so you did know about it. But it does take a lot of embalming fluid, Pastor Nate. Actually, embalming fluid is actually originally, when they do it and you're laying in state, it is mixed with a lot of water to give the body kind of like
to come up with.
Yeah, kind of giving the feel of actual blood and all that kind of stuff. But in actuality, when you do stuff like that, when they're standing up, it is straight embalming fluid. There is no water to do that liquid. So
you would be leaking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, they prep all that. It's like they wrap you in. It's almost like Depends, but so it holds all the fluid, and then you're like, yeah, so you're all tucked away and wrapped. Yeah, I know about it on books and in papers because I was not going to go view. My cousin owned the funeral home; they still do, and I was like, I ain't going in there.
Yeah. No, my father used to work for down here, Ruck's Funeral Home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can't.
He wouldn't talk about it too much because I guess he figured we'd be marred.
Yeah, like I can't. I'd rather I do all the paperwork, all the talking, all of that, but I can't. I can't do it at all. But anyway, that's really cool. Check her out. She's really cool with some of the stuff. It's really informative. But yeah, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that because it really gave. It talked about how people were so enraged, especially the Black community was so enraged with him standing up. But not too long ago, we were hanging from trees and people were looking at our bodies having picnics underneath, and she mentioned that too, as a point of reference to people being upset or angry to what this woman's wishes were for her son. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I liked how she spoke about other cultures.
Yeah,
they had they had festivals, 3-day
yeah,
festivals.
3-day festivals.
Mhm.
I think it was in Thailand or something like that, where they actually the corpse sits in the
And
middle of
they
the
don't have
village.
any embalming or anything, and they
Yeah,
smoke.
nothing. They smoke
You know
it.
them all. You know they were lit. That party is a party. Hey,
They
go up
smoke
and they talk
around
to
it.
everybody. What about
Yeah.
the Hispanics that they open the mausoleums and take the
Yeah.
bodies back out?
Take the
It
bodies
was
back
every
out.
year and all. I ain't doing all that shit.
Yeah, I ain't. Yeah,
No, it'd be like,
no way.
I'll take. Look,
No way.
look, be in this little glass, right?
Right.
Sit on the shelf and bring you out. Well, how you been? What's going on?
That's crazy.
But
way.
it actually just makes you more comfortable with death.
Right. Yeah. I
You
get
know,
that.
and tragedies happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, tragedies do happen.
You
But
want to send them off in a certain way. They just really started getting real elaborate with the caskets. They kind of pimped out looking down.
Well, I watch a lot of that too. They do that a lot in like overseas in the UK. They have these there's this show where they do like these almost like the gypsy kind of weddings. It's the same kind of version for funerals where they have these big elaborate kind of over the top funerals and stuff like that. That I think some of them are interesting. I mean, I'd be trying to figure out who's paying for all that.
No, I'd be like, I ain't feeding these Negroes right here.
Right. That's all. I'm
bringing that dry ass cheesecake.
Who is spending all this money for what? The person is like not even here. But I guess if it works, not just torch me and sprinkle you in the Atlantic. Oh, Babs. I mean, even that. Like at some point, I was thinking,
shall we smoke you?
But then I'm like, well, what happens if you actually feel that? Or do you actually come back? Or how do you come back if you ashes? But I don't know.
Come back. If you come back in that body, I think you'd want a new one.
I mean, we don't know, No, I don't know.
Well,
but I'm like my mother.
There's no vacuum around me.
She was like, She's like, don't you just seal me up, spend the money on the box and on the tomb part. Everything else, don't even worry about it. And that's just what I did. So I don't know.
Yeah, I like that one. Take you to your favorite fishing spot and sprinkle you where you like to go fishing.
Not fry me up. Not to fry me up.
You say straight Walking Dead. No, they get up and start doing all that.
Oh,
we ain't doing all that.
I don't know about that. But anyway, so if you're looking for me in some of these other platforms, just to send me a story or something that you may have come across that you might like, oh, you know what? Cat might like this. You can always find me on one of these platforms here. All right.
Yes, and everybody will be happy to know that Sam's rotisserie chicken is back. So, Babs, we're going to get some chickens for you. We'll get some chickens for your funeral, Babs.
Not Sam's rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, shit.
You got to feed the people.
Oh, not the repass. Not the repass.
No, damn well you wouldn't have all them people in your house because they stale.
Right. They don't talk to them anyway. So anyway, here's the part of the show where we talk about all the other stuff. And it's called Who Said That?
Hey, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who is saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who
Blah, 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 blah. Who said that? Now, here we go. Part of the show where I guess we get to lay our hair down and have a little bit of a discussion about some of the stuff either happening on YouTube or wherever, wherever you've seen it. You know, here, there, everywhere. I've put the link in the chat if anybody wanted to pop on up. You're welcome to. Just keep it, like we normally keep it over here. But anyway, real quick, let's see. I happen to be listening while I was working because I listen to a lot of people. I do. Whether I'm in your I don't want to say bushes because I don't do bushes, but whether I'm taking a seat in your balcony
nice.
with clouds, that's neither here nor there. But I will say, Deanna Irving today going after Pastor Wilson. I don't have no issue with Pastor Wilson, but I thought that was hilariously funny. Please check it out. It had me dying. I couldn't stop laughing. It was like, what is so funny? I was just like, it's not something you would watch, but it was funny. It brought back just straight old YouTube where people would just crack jokes and just it wouldn't be all vicious and disgusting. It was just jokes, like constantly just a constant, just actual jokes, nothing too serious, but definitely very, very funny. Other than that, I'm really not getting into the whole Tracy's World thing because I don't really know what the hell is going on. It just sounds like a bunch of people, to be honest, that need their medication, which is not unusual for this part of YouTube. So I don't even know what's going on. All I know is that apparently people tell a lot of other people their business. Some people need to be mindful of the people that they marry because they're not for them. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah.
There's definitely a lot of mental illness.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I get it, and I guess some of it is entertaining because it's like watching TV a little bit. It's like a guilty pleasure.
Interactive
Yeah, it's like a guilty pleasure, but goddamn, it'd be too much the cuckoo's nest thing for me. I just can't. Sounds like an episode of Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, like really, like Love and Hip Hop, like crack, Love and Hip Hop crackhead style or something, like Love and Hip Hop rehab or something. Yeah, Love and Hip Hop crackhead or Love and Hip Hop rehab or something like that. But it is really just crazy. This misunderstood situation with Tracy, I am confused altogether. But then I also see another side of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't really watched a whole lot of it. I just watched. I can only take but so much, but it definitely looks like people have honed in on what people are more sympathetic to and what they kind of gear their donations to, and then the content creator or lack thereof, because I don't really think she really presents any content. She just talking, which I mean, I guess if you want to call that content or whatever, that people support it because they feel bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, she's struggling with her recovery, which is something that a lot of people go through. But at the same time, it's a lot. It's a lot going on that I feel like you really can't be donating your full time in recovery because you participate in a lot of this shit that would cause anybody.
This is definitely not the place
who had issues to pop some drink, to pop some pills or drink. Like, so I just don't, I don't buy it.
But this is a place to support.
I don't buy
that habit that you're trying to get rid of.
I mean, there's people that's doing the same habit you're trying to get rid of. So I don't understand. Well, they can mail you some pills today.
Okay, when they connect.
Right. They can mail you some pills today. You got motherfuckers, they got a tooth first in their mouth. Ain't had one since they had a tooth. That, we'll buy you some whatever when you want it. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? I see we got a threesome
Hey.
up here.
You know what?
Are we going
Bite me. But hey, wait.
And I won't lose a tooth. Okay.
Oh, I
Ooh.
hope not.
Ah.
But especially a gold one.
You back
It's
from the
been
woods?
crazy.
You said what?
I said you back from the woods.
I've been back from the woods, but I love
I
a
don't
good
know.
old tree. But it's been crazy on these streets. But what was this last topic you guys were talking about? Because I was doing something also on the side. What you were just addressing about the
about the misunderstood in the Tracy situation. You know, your best friend. You know, you love your.
I miss her. I need to give me another dog, but I don't know if Kai want one.
Might get
but
jealous.
I think that this whole thing about misunderstood, I think I hadn't even touched it because it's so convoluted and it's crazy. And I think the whole thing of using someone that has an addiction, because I've had people I was close to that dealt with addiction and I can see it plainly, it's quite a few addictions in this sector. Actually.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I'm like, so that's why I feel like a lot of it, granted,
he put Sean on the end of that.
It may be some sobriety, maybe, but it's a lot of, people can watch me crash and burn because it's entertaining and I will still get cash up. So it's like it's not helping. Trust and believe we that's like going down the other path of other content creators that we watch. Oh, not we, because I didn't watch it, but have heard of the 16 hours on live. And you like, did you feed your kids? Did you do this? Did you do that? And it's like none of that was ever seen. But all you saw was this person sitting on camera. And it's just like, this is just
no, did you wash your ass?
Okay. That part.
This is a lot of craziness. I mean, the hair be looking stringy if it looks anything at all. The wig be looking a hot mess. And it's just like, girl, what are you doing?
I had a family member on my father's side that she was what we would call a junkie. She was a crackhead neighborhood. And this woman she could have played basketball. She played basketball in high school, but she just got with someone and she got hooked on crack. And she became the total opposite, and she would lie. She would do anything. She would start crying, saying, her bill is about to get cut off, the lights, and just to get extra money to go buy more rocks. And I had to learn how to love her from a distance.
So would that equate to like your transmission not working?
Yeah, all of that right there. All of that. You always need something. You're always needy. And I can see it from a mile away, and I've seen different behaviors in this sector. There's a lot of addiction. There's a lot of problematic. It's problematic, especially when people cheer that on and they nurture that. And
but it's entertaining. Don't you?
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
People love the train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that's why I didn't touch on it before, because I was like, this is messy. This is really, and I see her being used as like, she's a prized goat being shown at the rodeo,
but she's making money. You don't think she's getting drug cash apps just as much as people are parading her around or supporting her or tugging back and forth between, because apparently she's being tossed allegedly between Tracy and
Kimmy.
Yeah. Well, Kimmy and somebody else I heard. Was it what's her face? Pizarro.
Okay. And this is the thing. It's like the whole thing of you're worried about this person.
In the words of Kimmy, junkie stunts.
Okay. And these people don't give a damn about that woman. She's used. She's a pawn. They're using her they're using her to get clicks and views.
But that's the thing. When you start caring about yourself, but this is like the issue, just to bring this on home and we can go into something else. When you start caring about yourself, though, then people will then direct how they treat you because you care more about yourself. She doesn't care about herself. It says a lot more about her and her own self-esteem, her own issues, than it does, about the people, utilizing it for their own financial gain. Because at the end of the day, that's all this is.
And
Who can get the clicks and the views for, whatever purpose. Mm-hmm.
There was an old wise woman that was a friend of my grandmother's. Now, 90% of the time she'd be drunk off moonshine, but the 10% that she wasn't, she would have some wisdom. She used to say, all the things, you can put a pretty bow on a present. You can have a beautiful bow on it and it's empty inside. Mm-hmm. Misunderstood is a pretty woman, but is she seeking validation? She seeks validation. She needs she needs that crowd around her. She's addicted to that.
That's a childhood thing, though.
Yeah, I mean, because you're so pretty, but all of that is just the image that we're seeing.
Pretty when you on that shit.
Okay.
And all that shit will fuck your face up in a
baby. Because I'm telling you, that family member that was on drugs aged really bad. And
black don't crack unless it's got some crack in it.
Okay, that's what crack will crack.
Crack will crack you up. Yeah. So no. Yeah. I mean, I do wish that she finds peace in some sort of sobriety where she can get herself together. And
stop searching for peace. Also going to get peace. And maybe that
peace. No, you mean a piece.
Okay. Yeah, when she went to that guy's house and I was like, girl, blink if you need help. What is going on? And she was sitting there like the Taliban was holding her, and she just.
But who just pop? But I mean, that's what do you expect? You pop up in somebody's house, you don't know what the fuck he got going on.
Okay.
So I mean,
she was catfish.
You might jeopardize. Well, you might jeopardize. You might have jeopardized his whole livelihood. Yeah, that's what you know. And if he was catfishing, I mean, that's what video chat is for. That's what this is for. Hey, we can do a private stream or whatever, and you don't
have to show up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just want to see what you look like, but you popping up all over people. Like, what do you expect?
Hell, I just think as a woman, though, that's all of that. I mean, and I think that her going there.
You put cockfish.
Cockfish. Why now? That picture you showed me. Why is it bigger on soft than it is on hard? Stop playing with me. But I think that she went there, and you put yourself in danger going to this person's house.
Danger, girl.
Now your ring is missing, and it's like, okay, girl, is your ring really missing, or is it an insurance scam that you're trying to do?
Ring?
No.
Sound like that preacher to me. What's his name? Lock something. The preacher that got robbed in the store.
Okay, right. But yeah, it's crazy. Just that right there.
Look who fell out who fell out the cloud.
There she go. Every time I cut up, she just popped right up. Hey, Lee.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
You see what she said?
No, what she said?
He didn't catfish her. They video chatted. She is playing all of it. Listen, she playing all of them because I look at it like this. Girl, you knew what you was getting. You went there and said he didn't look like what he looked like.
I think that was bullshit. I think that was just to get people because people were watching because they was watching the meeting, the interaction. So I don't know. I just, if she's trying to get herself together, this ain't the place to do it.
Right.
To be honest.
They're going to drive her further. They will cheer her right over the ledge.
Yeah. So, and then be all sad once it happens.
Right.
Oh, no. And that part irritates me the most. Everybody gets so somber and so, I was trying to help. I was just giving her contacts to get help and assistance.
I was going to say, you start pointing fingers and
everything. Start pointing fingers and bullshit when you participated in the fuckery. Like, if you're really going to help or if, because one, people only going to get help when they want help. That's first and foremost. And I think honestly, the best person, if you were trying to get help or to find a way to get help, is somebody who's been through it. To talk to them. You talking to people that have their own lives, could give two shits about what you smoking or what you sniffing, because they, have no clue of what that life is like for you. They ain't concerned about that shit. In contact with some people who have gone through what you're going through, and maybe you'll be able to, get yourself clean that way, because that ain't it. And you have kids too. I think that's the sad part.
Yeah.
Like, I can give a shit about you. I care more about these kids and the impression that you're leaving on them, and what kind of space you're putting them in growing up, to be older. And then when you get yourself clean and you older and you done all the bullshit, then you want to kind of be a mother or be a part of their family, and they ain't gonna want shit.
You can't get that time back, right?
So anyway, that's
but then too, when you have people feeding your habit.
Yeah.
What incentive is that for you to get yourself straight?
Speaking of feeding habits.
Lord
have mercy. Have y'all seen Wiley? He's gained a lot of healthy weight.
You know what?
I hadn't seen him.
Good guy. He did an interview with Storm Monroe. Ooh, I was like, God damn.
He needs to get some of them diet pills then.
I think he needs some of them. He needs some of them pasta pills.
I have to check him out.
That was the mighty power of the prayer cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the cloth.
Rebel, I still ain't get by Rebel.
I know Lynn T shut that down. She wasn't, her or Jess wasn't on the band. They weren't gonna help me, and I didn't want to outsource to China.
Sounds like another junkie stunt. Sounds like another
it's still sitting in,
I'm getting an Airbnb next.
What? Yeah, okay.
We're gonna swim with the dolphins. Well, in Texas, we'll swim with the gators. But
where you getting your fish from?
Okay, it's gonna be fresh. They're gonna be fresh caught out the nearest bayou. And you can swim with the gators, so it's killing two birds with one stone.
Oh god, crazy. Gotta love it. Yeah. Anything else? Let's see. Anything else I can think of?
What did you think about these pictures being exposed?
I didn't see the pictures.
I didn't see the pictures.
I didn't see the pictures, but you already know how I feel about that, because people always think they got one up on you putting the picture out there, and it's like, bitch, first of all, I never even sent you that picture, so you got that picture from somebody else. But secondly, no face, no case. That's first and foremost.
Okay.
But the person said it wasn't them, so then you look like you stupid with egg on your face. I don't know. I mean, people go around, thinking they got one up on you because they got some pictures, and it's just like, grow the fuck up. First of all, we're all adults here,
right?
So if somebody does have some pictures, so what are we gonna do about it?
Right, because listen, if one of my pictures popped up, I'd be like,
that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why not be proud of what you got? Now, if you small, if you a Tic Tac, then I can understand you being upset.
You gotta use a magnifying glass.
I can understand that the thing got out.
That's all in the presentation.
Right. If you dry, I can understand why you would be upset.
Seen some dry one.
I can understand why you would be upset, because you're dry and dusty. And who would want that? Nobody. So those I can understand. But I mean, if you did it and it's out there, or you gave it to somebody and they put it out there, they expose it or call themselves exposing it, stand in it. Stand in it. What harm could it do? I mean, you've already did it. There was a possibility, unfortunately, when you're not dealing with a full adult, that it could possibly have gone out. So, be prepared for it and just stand in it and keep it moving.
It's definitely, I was like, wow, are we really doing this? It's just so juvenile, how it's high schoolish.
Yeah, it was crazy how people were saying that it was a juvenile picture. I was
right,
like,
but then why would you even want to look at? Yeah, I'm going the opposite direction.
I'm not even looking. I don't even want to see it.
Okay,
You're not gonna get
Jared.
me
Look,
with
Jared from Subway.
it.
Ask him about it. Okay.
Ain't that her favorite place to begin with?
Okay. Hello. She ain't getting a foot long anywhere else.
She ain't had a foot long unless it was a sandwich.
It's not even real bread. So
Well, it's hard enough for her.
Oh God, their nose is foot long.
Toast it lightly.
Toast it lightly, make sure it stays tough. But yeah, so I don't know. I just think some of this stuff is just really ridiculous and childish, but it is what it is. Let's see. Anything else before we move on from that? The HBO House of Dragons. Everybody's talking about it. It's a good show.
I was reading that. I was reading that today at work.
You always got to be the one. Were you reading the book?
No, I researched it because I wanted to be caught up and see how it started and before, in the beginning, because I never watched Game of Thrones.
Well, I mean, okay, but you can watch that and not have watched the Game of Thrones though.
Yeah, because
that one you can watch.
It's a prequel.
Yeah,
it's like 200 years before.
Right, it's way before. It's a good 200 years before.
The backstory was very interesting because I was reading and I just kept, pulling up different things about it, and I understood.
Yeah, well, it's only 2 episodes in, Rebel, so get your ass on watching it.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Only 2.
Yeah, that's it. You'd be all like,
yeah, because it just started.
I ain't seen it, but it's really, really good, really, really good. And you like
Sunday
all
night
sci-fi.
9 o'clock.
You like all that sci-fi shit stuff, so it's a lot of dragons and hot breath and everything just around everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Good times. But let's see what else. Other than that, what else did I watch? I did see Nope. Anybody watch that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched.
What was your thoughts? I watched it 1, 2, 3 times because I was
Is that the movie?
Yeah,
the movie.
I was a bit like, okay.
I heard that my sister went and seen it.
What the opening scene had to do with? It's like the opening scene didn't have anything to do with that.
Well, an animal's going to do what an animal does, and they're
very sensitive.
Go ahead, Rebel.
No. Well, I was just going to say the animals can detect things, and they have this, this reaction to flee or get away from imminent danger, so they can sense this extraterrestrial, I guess it was,
or Kirk the fuck out. Or Kirk the fuck out, because that's what happened.
Yeah, remember when the balloon burst?
Oh, that's what happened.
It startled the chimp. And an animal does what an animal does, no matter how you think you may tame it. But they were thinking that was a spaceship at first, but it was actually some sort of animal.
And that's what I was reading. It was like jellyfish-like. Almost.
Yeah, like a jelly. Yeah.
I thought it was a UFO at first.
Because I had to really watch it twice.
Yeah, because I was like, what the?
I was like, what's this fucking kite?
Right. I'm like, what is that? And then I'm just like, is that intestines that they're in? Because they was all squirming and squeezing and screaming and shit. And I'm just like, well, that ain't no spaceship. What the fuck is this?
Oh, no, they were being digested.
Yeah, they were being digested. Yeah. But I was like, that's not no spaceship. As I'm saying, like, that's not a spaceship.
Yeah, Babs, you should watch it.
Yeah, but definitely watch it. I'm not going to give it away. It's definitely something interesting to watch.
Now, would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? What you guys rate it as?
A 7.
Yeah, I would say 7, 6, 7-ish.
Because it really makes it bad when you have previous movies,
right? That were really like, wow.
They're really like, and sometimes you just don't get it, and it's like, what did I miss? I felt like I missed something at first.
Yeah,
but then you have to kind of wipe the slate clean. It's not going to be like the other movies. It's just not going to set up anything. You had to look at the whole thing, that this was an animal and it was going to do what an animal does. They all have patterns. And
Because I'm looking at because then I'm looking at, okay, maybe I missed something in this interaction. Maybe I missed something in that interaction. I'm looking like all the others. I'm looking at all the shit. And I'm just like, I don't see shit.
remember when the father was killed in the very beginning? That's because it couldn't digest.
It couldn't digest
metals.
money. Yeah, metals and things. So it was just spitting it out.
And it was spitting pieces of him out?
No. When it was digesting, it couldn't digest. It could digest people, but not the things they had. So like metal.
So if you had like fillings and things like
that,
it
was kind of like that thing. Out. The thing. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Spitting out shit. It was just flying everywhere. It was like think, 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 think. And it was like, what the fuck is that? And yeah, so it was definitely very kind of different, but still cool. Kind of gave me more Twilight Zone type of thing than an actual like a movie. I was more like, oh, this is like something like the Twilight Zone if I was watching it.
And that was something I actually like Keke Palmer in too.
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised because she had me laughing. I was like, yes, we all know that. We all have one of them.
Yeah, right.
So because when I was reading the synopsis and just comments, so she was lesbian? Was she a lesbian?
Yes, she was.
She was a lesbian.
Yeah, because she mentioned that when she was talking about her her psychiatrist.
Yeah,
that she sleeps with her psychiatrist, and her psychiatrist told her something, and she mentioned that it was a woman.
Yeah, I forgot that part. Yeah, she did.
Good night, Granny. You have a good night.
And thanks for coming by. Thank you.
And we'll pray for your daughter.
Yes.
Definitely sending positive energy and healing for your family.
Yes. So, yep, I'm with that. Let's see what else I watched.
Did I tell you I watched, I saw Black Phone?
No. How did you like that?
I liked it.
I did. I liked it too. I liked it too.
I read up on that one as well.
Black Phone?
Doing all this reading. Just watch it. People was talking like it was, from what people were saying, I thought it was like a horror, but it was a more of a
psychological problem.
Yeah, right. Like a thriller, like a psychological thriller a little bit. Almost like a mix of Sixth Sense with what else?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Sixth Sense.
Yeah, pretty much like Sixth Sense with like something else. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, like Sixth Sense. But it was good. It was really good. It was really good.
Going to the movies and just
going to where? That's like a foreign thing to me. I don't.
I can tell you how many years, and I can literally say years now.
Oh, so you get it like you get it on the like HBO Max, is it?
Or other places.
Okay.
Somebody knocking down my door.
Right. But yeah, I don't do the movies like that's not even. But I do want to see Beast.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be pretty good.
I did watch Prey. That was good.
Okay, that was Yacha, the Predators.
Yeah.
Well, that's their name that they use. But
excuse me, Mr. Sci-Fi.
I know he all deep in it. Like
the Yachas.
I've always gotten the books. I read the book before I see the movie a lot of times, but
that's a spoiler. I did that once, and I was so messed up. I did that for The Help, and I couldn't even watch The Help.
The movies don't usually live up to the book.
No.
I was going to say, usually, if it's not the actual, the book version is actually the same as the movie, but like maybe a couple years beforehand, it does it no justice. Because you're sitting down there, you're just totally critiquing the whole movie through and through.
I'm cool. You know what?
Even though the books are always better because they go into so much detail.
Someone that talks the whole movie when I've gone with my friend BJ.
Oh no, we don't do that.
No.
I'd be like, I'm not. Don't sit by me. No, you talk too much. No,
that's the only problem with these new movie theaters. You have to have like assigned seats. I'll just tell you, shut the fuck up. Please.
Okay, that part.
And
don't
not how
talk.
much you pay. It's almost like it's so like 40, 50
Oh.
bucks. It's like all together by the time the tax feels like $65 for it. It's like
I know for
cool.
$65 I'm getting some ass. Okay.
Okay, that's right.
And
I go with you,
it's
Nate.
because
But
it's because a lot of this. It's because a lot of the movie theaters here have the sound in the seats and it moves and shakes and shit. For moving and shaking, like that's good. No, I'm good.
Okay, because I've been had an orgasm sitting in that damn seat. But the thing is, when I went to the last
Bring me
movie,
some
I went.
extra napkins.
Okay.
I guess that's where your rags come in handy, huh?
But you know, right? A friend of mine, I went to the movie with him not too long ago, and he was like, he got the tickets ahead of time, so I was just gonna cash out him the money for my ticket. I was like, why the hell did you pick 3D for this movie? So we paid a lot more. And I'm like, the movie didn't require 3D. It didn't need 3D. You know, it was in IMAX already, but you wanted to get 3D, so our tickets were like $19.
Yeah, they're crazy prices.
What's going with the
But I don't enjoy 3D. It's just too.
It gives me a headache after a while.
Yeah, it's kind of dark and sharp, and I'm like, no.
I've done one years ago. I ain't never did it since.
Yeah, when it's in IMAX, the damn screen is almost all the way behind you. I'm like, no, that's too much. I don't need that type of experience. You say I give it. You give it, Patty. You give ass before the movie.
See, I like it.
I just saw that one.
Not give it
my kind of girl.
You my kind of girl, Patty. Yes, Lord. We may not make it to the movie.
We may not
make our own movie.
No way.
Make our own movie. Just make sure that girl in San Antonio don't get any of it. But
no way. Hey, you might get some free compensation out the deal.
Okay,
a free meal or night stay.
You said on night stay.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever? What about? Do y'all like Shalimar? What's his?
Yeah.
Do you like any of his movies?
M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, he has actually a series on Amazon Prime.
Oh, really?
What is it called? I just saw it. Not The Help, but like the something. The Stranger, the Assistant, the some shit. What is that called? Hold on. But it's good. It's really good. It's typical of his type of movie, but it was really, really good. I told you about it some time ago. It was a young woman. She was married. She's a news anchor, and she was looking for it's Apple. She was looking. Yeah, it's on Apple.
Netflix?
No, it's Apple TV.
Oh,
it's Apple. I was like, she's looking for a The Servant. I think it is. Is it The Servant? I think so.
The Servant. It's on Netflix.
It's Netflix. Is it?
Yeah, it said Netflix.
You know that we got so many of these little different. You
We
forget
do.
what it
I
came
do.
on.
I have a whole lot of
Oh,
them.
you know what?
I think
Apple TV.
okay.
On that, and also Apple TV.
Yeah. Like I know.
Yeah, his last movie I saw, The Old.
Okay, the old
people
was
on the
good
beach.
too. Yeah.
I like that.
That was his?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that was his. That's weird. What?
House of Dragons.
But yeah, the series is called The Servant. It is pretty good. Not to tell too much of it, but it's a news anchor. She's young. She has a baby. The baby, something happens with the baby, and she has a traumatic situation to where her therapist convinces the husband to get a doll baby in place of the actual baby. And then somehow that doll baby becomes a real baby. Yeah. And
maybe the baby that was supposed to have been is inhabiting that.
I have no idea, but it gets
All
really
right,
crazy.
Annabelle.
Yeah, it gets really crazy. It gets really crazy, but it is really good. To definitely check out The Servant.
Yeah, House of Dragons is going to have 10 episodes.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just finished watching The Shy, one of my favorite shows. And it's nice to see how the characters, even though the young kids are growing up and maturing, but to see the characters grow up and mature is cool too. I really think that that's cool. But The Shy has been one of my favorite shows since it started. I've watched every season, every episode. So to know that this is, I believe, their last is kind of like, oh. But Queen Sugar is coming back.
Oh, that was my show.
So I can't wait for that.
Is this the last season for that?
Yeah, this is the last season for that. Yeah.
Did you guys watch the show with the family that were into church? Greenleaf?
Greenleaf. Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, I like that.
I liked Greenleaf.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch the movie Honk If You Love Jesus?
I hadn't heard of it.
Oh, it's with Regina Hall and
Yeah.
the black guy from.
When does that come out?
I think this weekend or next weekend.
Okay.
All of Us, the black guy from All of Us. You ever seen
yeah.
the show?
I know. The show.
Yeah, one of the brothers.
Yeah, one of the only brother in the, as the brother.
Yeah, the only black brother.
The only black brother.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm waiting for that Viola Davis.
Yeah.
The African.
The king something, the African king queen or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is like I don't know if they keep pushing it back or what it is. I don't know if they're trying to push it back to do a kind of Black Panther and that come out at the same time or around about the same time. I would hope that either. But
yeah, because that would compete.
Yeah.
I keep thinking.
Who do you think is going to be the new Black Panther? His sister.
I think it's going to be the guard. What's her name?
Okoye.
Okoye, yeah.
Yeah, it's well, you know, yeah, you know, it's going to be female, but I'm thinking, I'm thinking it's going to be a twist. In the comic book, it's his sister.
Yes, that's why I was asking that she is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think she dies because the mother said she lost both her kids.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking after saying that it's her, that's going to be her. Because Angela Bassett.
No, wait, hold up now. You don't think Angela Bassett today I'm old to become a Black Panther now?
No, not when you take that route. You smoke that weed, boy. You do anything. It's magical.
I dated that.
Well, you know she was up there doing Tina with the shoulders and shit.
Wait, be careful when you say somebody doing Tina over here in this sector.
Tina Turner.
Okay.
Tina Turner.
You said Tina, you start shaking. Okay.
Yeah, but I think they could pull it off. That wouldn't be a problem because physically she could do it. I mean, you know, she could look at it and everything else. Let
that woman retire. She's been queen and I don't think she need that type of action at this age now.
It's computer generated.
Yeah, I was going to say all her action will be computer generated. They're not going to bring back Killmonger.
Well, hell, they brought Arnold Schwarzenegger back, so why not?
I mean, they bringing back Sylvester Stallone. He's still doing another movie.
Faceless.
I'm like, good God, go sit down somewhere.
What the hell? He reminded me of what was the guy that was a boxer before? In his face, he had so many plastic surgeries that his face was it. He was a boxer, then he was an actor, and his face just started falling just from all the plastic. That's how Sylvester Stallone looks like that.
Yeah. Just dripping, just face. Just drip for sale.
You're right. He looked like hell. He do. He looked like a hot mess. But you know, she's on that 911. And she looks fit. She could pull it off.
She looks like she could pull it off.
She could pull it off. And I think that's the twist. Because that's the one thing about Marvel. They'll normally they would just bring a character. Well, I mean,
back. If they got what's the face? What's the white chick? Who was Tony Stark's love interest in Gwyneth Paltrow. If they got Gwyneth Paltrow in an Iron Man costume, right, they could clearly have Angela Bassett and A Black
And
Panther.
that would be an ass kicker right there if she became the new Black Panther. These, excuse the expression, these motherfuckers will lose their goddamn mind.
Yeah, they would.
You have a older Black woman that's now the queen of Wakanda
Yeah.
and the Black Panther.
This is
Yes, that shit
I
gives
don't
me
want to
the
put Angela through all
tingles.
that. Oh, hell, she should
Look,
be
as much as she
fighting.
got paid, she be all right.
Okay.
yeah, she'd be right.
She say leave her
Queen of
alone.
Wakanda, I want her to retire and lord over her people.
I'm not ready for her to retire.
Right.
They got-
No, not yet. She gonna be like Cicely Tyson, part 2.
Mhm, that's right. We're gonna be saying, yeah, you remember back in the day when Cicely Tyson walked the earth?
Right.
See,
It's gonna be the same thing. You remember when Angela Bassett walked the earth?
All right. Here's her star right here.
Everybody had fit arms. Be like, yeah. Be showing their arms.
her arms are. She got
Bam.
some guns.
Oh, she will.
And she
fuck
would,
somebody
and she
up.
would not have to do much.
No.
Like I said,
No.
because she's not your average older woman
Right.
as far as physique wise. And like I said, I think that would be an ass kick. You know, these motherfuckers would scream. I could hear. I'm screaming too like a white woman in my head right now.
Yeah.
Because that shit would just be so exciting.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I'm wired for it. Because that would be the ultimate twist.
Yeah.
Because everybody was saying, of course, the sister because of the comic book.
Right.
And then they were saying, well, maybe they could get Killmonger because instead of them letting him die, of course, they're more advanced. They would be able to save him or whatever.
Maybe he got saved by Namor's people. And
Um,
they saved him when he was thrown out, put out to sea.
that's if they did that. But if
Yeah.
I think once and then too, they could always mix it up saying that when they had the snap and all the people disappeared, that
Mhm.
you could do this, do that. That's the one thing about Marvel.
Yeah,
Like I said,
that is true.
They'll bring you back.
As
That's
long as
something.
they don't do like the what's that, the racing joints where they brought back the dude's face that died and put his generated
Oh,
face in the thing.
Fast
Don't
and
do that.
Furious.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Don't do that.
Now that would be a mess.
Don't do that. Don't do it to us. But
Yeah, I'm for it too, Patty.
yeah.
That might make me go to the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh,
he'd be adorned in his white because that's
Mm.
that's the thing. Apparently, everybody's supposed to wear white.
Way of white.
The Black Panther
Mm.
premiere in honor of Boseman, Chadwick Boseman.
I would have to go to that early show, that 9:00 in the morning show.
Not the
all
9 o'clock in the morning.
all the little bastards in school.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they be hooking, but you know what? They be hooking school, or the schools would take them.
Lindsay, emailing Angela and dropping a dime on you, Rebel. Telling all the business is coming out. But anyway, yeah, that is really all I got, guys. I don't think there's any other thing unless somebody's missing something. Is there anything that anybody wanted to say before we head on up out of here?
House of Dragons. Scene in House of Dragons when the king was offered the young girl of 12 to be his wife.
Oh, that was ridiculous. I was like,
and they're talking. Did you how they was just strolling?
yeah.
And and the little girl says, well, my mother says that you can't I won't have to bed you until I'm 14.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, that's
that was like so creepy. That was
and then he was like, she kept talking, and he was like, "Who put you up to this?" He's like, "Well, my father told me to say this, and my mother said." This,
that's a touch of realism, though, because a lot of those back then they did have younger wives, and they were their sisters.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're just cousins.
Yeah,
they're really
they're
cousins. They're cousins, but
to keep the bloodline pure, they that was in Egypt and stuff. They did that,
nasty. They nasty.
But but I mean, it just says a lot, even for today's society, when you talk about when you see how women were treated, how even still he names his daughter as his heir to the throne, and they still are beholden on pushing a man
or male child,
a male son to be on the throne, even to which where she's overlooking the balcony, looking at her father walk with her little cousin, and
Nasty.
the mother is sitting there, the little girl's mother is sitting there telling her, they don't want you to be queen. You will never be queen. That's just how things are. She said, oh no, they don't want you.
Yeah.
She
That
said,
I rolled
they
on.
pick you to be queen. She was like, but when I'm queen, I will change that. I thought, okay, drop the mic. She killed it right there. She was like, no, they didn't pick you. They got shit to do with me. But and a lot of times that's how we should look at things. It's not about like, yeah, it may not have been then, but that may be your situation or your experience, but it doesn't have to be mine. So I thought that was definitely a good moment. But definitely something to watch.
Yeah.
And this is on Netflix.
No, this is HBO or
HBO Max. Or if you have Hulu with the HBO Max package, it shows up like a day later. But it usually comes.
If you don't have HBO Max, just I got it. Let me know.
Oh, thank you. You're always there.
That's only because I've known you for so long.
I appreciate that.
Don't push it.
But it's definitely worth watching. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And by the way, thank you for all those who come out and check me out on Friday nights at Jives and the King's Court. They're of course
in Kojic land.
In Kojic land.
You're over there on Friday?
Yeah.
That's some shit, Rebel. I ain't never seen so much shit in the church. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot. It's a different head. It's a different head space.
It definitely is a different head space, but some of the familiar stuff, as we know of being on a panel in a group, you get people that get very swell-headed into thinking that they carry a show. And it's like, no, the show just carries on without you. Granted, people will leave and follow whoever their favorite is, but people will stay. And it's a lot of that sometimes too. And it's
those
just
egos be out of
they do. They really do. And I really don't get it. Like I could somewhat see it if you're like an artist, a singer or something like you done sold albums. That part I get and I totally see it. But I definitely don't see it when it's like something like this. It's just like, you have a handful of followers or people that enjoy your talent, and that's cool. But that's only going to last but for so long. You have to reach the masses, and it's just like, even with this, a lot of people don't necessarily watch, but they know, because I'll go in other places where I don't think nobody know me, and somebody be like, hey, Cap. I'll be like, oh.
It ain't because of this.
Yeah, right. Like I didn't know you even knew who I was over here.
Say cheese.
Yeah, right. So, and I'm honored by it. Definitely humbled by it.
I'm sure you are.
A humble person, but but I definitely, it's just like you never know. So you never know, who is watching, when they're watching, and where you are. That they may be like, hey, so to that.
That's so true about that, because when it's almost like you have a different responsibility. Sometimes you have to look at things and be like mindful. Sometimes, just because sometimes you could. Somebody could just get something, and the bigger your platform grows, people would look something about you could be spread, or just someone coming by word of mouth, hey, I enjoyed his show, and just telling other people. It can be organic, and you're not going to get the same views. I'm not going to get the same views in this sector, simply because people like the more salacious stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's very true, especially with me. I only get like really top views if it's like somebody mentioned me and I responded, because those I do get my highest views on stuff I respond to from people, and it's like cool. I get it, and
But
that's
who wants
just
to
me.
dwell there? Who wants
Huh?
to dwell at that place?
Yeah, like no, that is definitely not a place I dwell in. But at the same time, you ain't just gonna talk about me and me not
Oh, okay.
Like that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I don't dwell in that space. So that's not something that I constantly because it's not a healthy place to be in. You know what I'm saying? It's not a healthy place
draining.
to be in.
But
Right.
then too, at least you know it's not you because other people are in the same predicament.
Right.
Because you can see it.
Yeah.
The type of content that they put out, if it's informative and things like that,
Yeah.
it gets
nothing. Right.
Unless it's something that's in the moment that's going on that people may want to know a little information, but
Right.
it gets nothing.
Yeah.
Nate, may I add this? I am a nose guy, and your nose is very appealing to me because it's very robust.
Now
I just wanted to add that. Like Eskimos, you would
Thank
get
you.
me. Yeah.
Getting nose job. It's all right, and it's pierced.
Is it
pierced? Yes, it comes with its own jewelry. I don't have it in tonight.
Oh wait, what's going on? Both of y'all with these piercings? What else is pierced?
Oh,
what is it, Prince Albert?
No. No, I ain't got that shit. I'm not doing that shit. That's
Yeah, I saw that once before.
Oh,
So
it should always have jewelry.
away from me.
That's a beard. That's a bridge too far.
uterus
I'm
up.
not doing that.
Oh, not that heavy ass jewelry. I don't know how the hell they walk around with that stuff.
Look at
I would have walked out on the one piercing of my nipple, but I was like, no, my nieces are gonna clown the shit out of me if I walk out of here and get one done. So I had to bite the bullet and fight
and get the other one done.
Second one.
No, was it that? Was it really? It was a painful experience.
Yeah, I got little nipples, bitch. That shit hurt.
Oh, yeah, if you don't have anything,
yeah,
let me tell you, I got a spider
but you
web.
know what? But they become more sensitive once it heals.
Oh, yeah,
it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it does. I knocked myself with the refrigerator door one time. I had to sat there for a minute.
Okay.
What you did? Run into the refrigerator again?
Right.
Hit your nipples up against the refrigerator?
It was like hurt and felt good at the same time. It was like, ooh, What were you saying? You got a Spider-Man?
I got a spider web tattoo on my stomach.
Oh, dude.
And that was the most.
Is that supposed to resemble some kind of other webby substance?
It's like complexity and just yes. So
complexity.
You know what?
Complexity. Okay.
Or come again? What do you say?
I see that part right there. It made me never want to get another tattoo because it was the most painful. Your stomach. Or like on your shoulder blade, I've heard. Like your shoulder.
Nope, right here where my name is, right.
Oh yeah,
right in that breastbone, chest bone, right there.
The thinner the skin is,
oh God,
more painful.
A friend of mine had got a cherry on her breast, and now it's a watermelon. She got it when she was a teenager, and it's hanging down low now.
This stretch marks look like a striped watermelon.
Maybe. Okay.
Well, at least you know it's right. Because it's red.
You got to thump it to see if it's good. That's what my grandfather used to say. Look at
you know what?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Hey, what's up, Smart Show? Nice to see you back.
Show.
Hey, Pastor Nate, how you doing?
Right,
right on time, Pastor Nate.
See, that's why I just have just Nate up here.
Since you're here, one day, Pastor Nate, I'm gonna need you to be up here, you and Nate side by side, so people can stop calling Nate Pastor Nate, and we can have the whole. This is Pastor Nate, and this is Nate.
I laugh, and I tell them all the time. I say, "Oh no,
right? Oh no, I'm not that pastor, right?"
Pastor Nate is a gentle giant.
Have me ruining his reputation. They'll come back and say, "I heard him say this." No, that was not the right one.
Don't listen to Tracy.
Oh Lord, Erica.
Okay. Erica don't know what the fuck she talking about.
Getting another story wrong. Damn
Jesus. It. Like, what the fuck is you doing?
I was a whole Brazilian. I was Mexican, and I just a whole.
No, I mean, you could be a little Mexican.
Maybe like
you look like a Sanchez.
Yeah, you give a little old man Mexican.
Watch it.
You just need to like
You get some boots that curl.
shave
You got
ice.
boots that
He
curl.
got boots. He got
Oh,
boots.
like the little
He
elf-like
got boots.
boots.
He
the
got a
little-
cowboy hat. He
No,
got
that's
it
Looks like
all.
an extra
Laura.
6 inches on the tip of the boot.
That's all you
Like
need
you
is a
can go
little.
sledding with the boots.
Yeah.
No. A little
That's
Keebler up. No, I'm pass on that.
How do you walk in them without tripping?
I don't know, Rebel. How do you walk in there?
I don't know. I've had Mexican in me, but I don't have Mexican in me.
Oh.
But I
Is it spicy?
it can be. The older you get, you don't want to eat spicy foods.
I'm sure you know. Run straight through you.
Okay.
Yo,
Bad for your health. Run your pressure up.
That's it.
I'll swell you up. One.
We
Listen.
swell you up.
Cap, Nate, I've had a good time. I need to fall into a diabetic coma because I have to wake up at about 6 o'clock.
Yes.
So I've
You
enjoyed
go.
this. We're going to have to do this again.
We enjoyed having you.
Oh, no
Good
problem.
seeing
Enjoy
you.
having you as always. Nice seeing you.
All right, y'all.
Don't be a stranger. Look, I'm just inviting people to your house, man.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye,
of
y'all.
course. It's all welcome here. It definitely, out of anybody, you definitely can welcome who you like. All right. So that's about it. Been here long enough for me, a whole 30 minutes more than I would normally do. But of course, that's what happens when you guys are having fun and enjoying each other's company. But yeah, it's about that time.
It's summertime. It's summertime.
Yeah, for now. Yep. So any parting words?
Nope. Everybody just take care of yourselves. Be good.
Yes. So please, on the closing notes, just take care. Always be safe. Wear your mask.
Wash your hands.
Wash your ass.
And moisturize with Dukes. That's right.
wear
And
your mask,
moisturize.
moisturize, all that good stuff because we got to out here. And of course, thank you guys as always for showing your support. Definitely appreciate you. So we're gonna give you a round of applause on the way out. God bless. Good night. Have a great, wonderful night, America. Peace.